Hey, welcome in. I am going to make a sweater in this video. I posted something on my community tab asking what you would like to see me make next, and I did put up a photo of me wearing a granny stitch pop pullover sweater by MJ Off the Hooks, and people wanted me to make a pullover. So I'm gonna do that in this video, but I'm not gonna make the exact same pullover. I don't really want to give away her pattern, but I think that I can make my own version of a top-down raglan sweater with a different stitch, and I'm hoping that this 5 rolls of yarn is enough. This is cream in KNC cotton essential. I like this yarn a lot. However, I made a tank top with it, and I thought the stitch that I used, I think it kind of made the tank top too heavy, so I wouldn't really wear it. I don't know, it just felt like too heavy on my body. So I'm going to try to do some kind of like open stitch. But basically, if you don't know what a top-down raglan is, it starts with crocheting the collar, and then you move down, you crochet the yoke, and then the body, and then you just crochet on the sleeves. Right? So top down, basically seamless, little to no sewing, except for you gotta weave in your ends. But yeah, so I am watching Lauren the Mortician. Lauren. Yeah, I'm watching Lauren the Mortician, and I just refound her channel, so I'm going to binge watch that. I'm gonna start crocheting a ribbing for the collar, and I don't know, I'll update you as I go. I'm gonna write down all of the steps as well. That way, if we like the sweater by the end of it all and you want a pattern, I can write that. So I'm gonna just make sure that I write down everything I'm doing.
2,000 years later.
So it's been a little while. I apologize. I will catch you up though. I am so proud of myself, and also didn't realize I was gonna have to do as much math as I had to do. So for starters, I did the collar long enough in single crochet back loop only to look mock knit rib look. Okay, did I say that right? Did it sound like word salad? I don't know. Anyway, I did it long enough to fit around my head in an even amount of rows. So if you do that and you get like 71, do another row. 72 needs to be even. And then I did a row of single crochet on the bottom of the ribbing to clean it up before I started crocheting the yoke, which is almost done, by the way. This is an entire roll of the yarn that I have. I have 4 more left, so I don't know how far that's gonna get me. Like I said before, I don't know how much yarn I'm gonna have to use. Oh, also, this is obviously not an open knit stitch. Open knit stitch? What am I talking about? I'm having a hard day. This is obviously not an open stitch like I wanted to do, but I came across the herringbone single crochet, which I love, but thought that it wouldn't be like flexible enough. Words aren't my thing today. So I decided to do the herringbone double crochet to give it a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more movement. Yeah, anyway, so I like it. It's working up nicely. I had to figure out where to put the V stitches to separate the body from the back and front and the sleeves. Yeah, didn't really think about that ahead of time. But I figured it out. I did the math, and my first V stitch is in the first stitch. My second V stitch is in the 17th stitch, the 41st stitch, and the 57th stitch. So there's 4 V stitches. This is my first crochet sweater without a pattern. This is kind of exciting for me. Maybe not for you. What else did I write down for you? I think that was it for what I have written down for the process so far. I was thinking if I start to run out of yarn, hold on. I was thinking if I start to run out of yarn, like I'll stop like right about here, right? I'll work the rest of the yoke, the body, And then if I feel like I'm gonna run out of enough yarn for the rest of the body and like the sleeves, I might use a different color to do from like half the sleeve down, like half the body down. I'll put a picture up on the screen so this makes more sense, because like I don't think me explaining it is gonna help you visualize it. I'll put a picture on screen. Anyway, might do something like that, but I need to get moving. We don't have much time and I don't have much done. We have a problem, but I have to go to work, so I need to do this quickly. I'm running out of yarn. Running out of yarn. I'm so scared. Just finished the yoke. I think the yoke is done. And I've used 2 out of the 5 rolls. That means I have 3 rolls of yarn left for what? Both sleeves on the body? I don't think so. Is this going to be a pullover at this point? Is it going to be a shrug? Is it going to be a vest? I don't know what it's going to be. But it has to be something by the end of this video. I do, like I said, have that blue yarn, so maybe I can do half and half. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close up the yoke, maybe do a row for the body, just 1 row, and then start working on the sleeves. See how far I can get with that. See if I can get like the sleeves and the body the same length, kind of, and then maybe start in with the blue yarn. I don't even know how that's gonna look. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't like this. This is a problem. I probably should know how much yarn to purchase for a sweater before I purchase the yarn for the sweater. But I didn't have a pattern. Is this my fault? How do we avoid this in the future? Just buy 20 rolls of yarn every time I want to make a sweater and then just leftover yarn. That's fine. I don't know. We're going to figure this out. It's going to be something. Something worth sticking to the end of this video for. Okay, this is where we are at with the sweater right now. I have a roll of yarn attached to the body and a roll of yarn attached to this arm. I think that this looks like it's pretty even, right? So I think I've made this sleeve long enough to meet the body, but I still have some left. So I think I might make the sleeve a little longer, maybe another inch or so, and then lengthen the body a little bit. And then obviously I'm gonna show you guys what I did with the sleeve here, like how I attached it and stuff, if you want to see that a little bit later on when I start the other side. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you. But so far we have this, and then I have the campground, although the label literally just says color and then it says ground. But all the other rolls of yarn, and literally says it's campground. I don't know why it's printed wrong. But this is my Casey yarn. Super pretty blue color. I actually think that this might work out. This might work out. I do really like this color, which is why I bought it. We have a problem, and I don't know how big of a problem this is for me. I finished where I wanted this point to be on the sweater, right? Like where I want to start the blue after. And then I realized that I was crocheting stitch backwards on the sleeve. So this much of this has to be frogged. The entire part of the sleeve that I did has to be taken apart. This whole section here, I don't even know how much time I just lost. How much time did I lose on the sleeve? If you can see this, you might be able to tell what I'm talking about. This is what the back side of the stitching is supposed to look like. So I must have I attached it backwards. Do I keep going and just that's the way it is and I just make the sleeves like that on purpose now? Or do I frog this and do it the right way?
One pathetic sob story later.
Okay, I'm done having my meltdown, which may have been a little dramatic, but I fixed it. I fixed the sleeve. It's at the length and it meets the body when I put it on. So I'm gonna move over and I'm gonna add the length to the other sleeve before I start using the blue yarn. So I'm going to attach the sleeve to one of these stitches here with a slip knot, and then I'm just going to not half, sorry, I keep doing this. I'm just going to keep herringbone double crochet stitching around the sleeve in rows until I match the amount of rows that I did on the other sleeve, and I will come back and show you where we are at with that before we start using the campground color. This is where we're at right now with the sweater, and then I'm going to move on to this campground color, same cotton, different color. And I have a couple rolls of this, so I'm just going to finish off the sleeves, add the cuffs, same ribbing as I did for the neck, and the body and ribbing around that with this color. I do have a little bit of white cotton left, so I think I'm going to make something with that, maybe a bandana. I'm not 100% sure yet. It can be kind of matchy-matchy, but definitely not for this video because I'm behind and I don't have time for that. Maybe I'll do a little short with a matching bandana if we like the sweater. I finally finished the sweater. I really don't know how long it took me. I didn't time myself. I do wish I had. But if you guys want a pattern or a tutorial, I will time myself next time. It did take about 7 or 8 rolls of that KC cotton yarn, DK weight. It's a little cropped, so it lands just above my belly button. Probably I would make it just a little bit longer next time, and most likely I would let the ribbing a little looser. I would decrease just a little bit less for the ribbing on the stomach, but overall I really do like this top. I wanted to sell it, but I cannot sell this sweater. This sweater took me so long to crochet that I could not put a price on it, and I kind of want to keep it anyway. One con about this cotton yarn that I did notice while I was crocheting is the dye in this cotton yarn, it bleeds onto your hands. Which is going to prove to be an issue because I have to wash this and block it. I think it's going to be a little bit longer when I do that. I'm worried that the dye is going to bleed onto the white. I wouldn't really be worried about using this yarn so much if I would have done the sweater in one solid color, but that's a problem for another day. Today, the sweater is finished. I made it myself without a pattern. I showed you my process, and if you have any questions or any suggestions for another process video, let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you next time.